Good morning and happy Flower Club Thursday. The sun is shining here in Wheat Hampstead. It's a glorious day. I think the summer may finally have arrived. Hopefully I've not jinxed it by saying that. So in this month's Flower Club demonstration, I am going to be showing you how to do a summer meadow box. So if you've been watching my Instagram, you will have seen me get very excited about this last week. This is my new favourite piece of kit. Florists get very excited about mechanics, and basically mechanics are something that will have a water source in for your flowers, and that is also strong in terms of it's not going to fall over or blow over or whatever. And I've been looking actually for a while about getting some sort of tray like this, because they're so versatile in terms of what you can do with them. You can have them along tables if you want a garland type effect. You can put candles in them, you can put plants in them. There's so much you can do with them. So although it is a very simple rectangular hard plastic, I think it is, trough basically, I find it very exciting. So I find the opportunities very exciting and the possibilities very exciting, let's say, as opposed to just a plastic box. So I'm going to be selling these also in the shop as well, but I'll be doing lots of demos on things that you can do with them, because I want to, as you know, make floristry as accessible to as many people as possible, and also the benefits that come from that. I personally have found lots of benefits myself from doing floristry, so I want to share that with everybody. So to make a start, what I have done is I have lined my tray. I have used some bio floral foam, but you could put moss in here. If you're doing a tall meadow box, you could put gravel and some chicken wire in to feed your stems into, but for the purposes of this demonstration, I have used some wet foam. So it's in there. It's about probably half an inch below the top level of the box, and I've literally just put in a little bit of foliage from the garden. So these are skimia bush shoots. So I've put 3 here, 3 here, 3 in the middle with a little bit of height, because we're going to have multiple height. I think when you're doing a meadow box, it helps it feel more natural and not quite so curated if you've got kind of different levels and different heights of things. This one I'm going to put against a wall, so we don't need too much going on at the back. The flowers will be more forward facing, but obviously if you're putting it along a table centre or a garden table, something like that, you want to kind of even it out a little bit more. So you could put candles in it, you could put a lantern in the middle, or a citronella candle, something like that. So lots of options with these, but I'm going to start as always with my foliage. So you have these in your bunches, so cocculus leaves. They're really good for sort of larger scale type arrangements, because you can cut them down. Obviously the size of the leaves and the glossiness of the leaves just work very well in floristry, floral arrangements. So I've put one each side here. I'm going to put one in the middle there, slightly coming forward, and then I'm going to cut my other one down. So as always, nice 45-degree angle cut. Strip off anything that's going to fall below the waterline or below the foam. And I'm literally just laying them through. These are very good because obviously the leaves are quite large, so you get good coverage. Essentially what you want to try and do is hide your mechanics that you've got in your bowl, whether that be, you know, chicken wire or foam or whatever. I'm going to take this one slightly over the end just to soften that end a little bit. So we've got a shape coming together. As I say, at the moment I'm more concerned about sort of just building my base, and then we'll add our flowers in. We've got some panicum grass here, so this is lovely. It's got a lovely delicate feel to it, and for this type of arrangement obviously it works very well too. So I'm going to pop that one in there. You've got 3 of these. Take this one a little bit lower in there. So as I say, vary the heights. I am roughly kind of spreading things out in 3s, but trying also to keep a little bit of softness, a little bit of varying heights to it as well. So you can see we're starting to build that base. You could use anything to sort of fill out the base. If you've got bushes in your garden, hedges, you know, anything like that, just give them a clip down. I'm going to start with my slightly taller flowers. So we've got some antirrhinum or snapdragons here. So again, just nice 45-degree cut. Strip those leaves and pop it in here. So I did a few of these at the weekend for a hen party that was happening in a restaurant in Wheathampstead. They had these on the tables, and these are really nice because they're not too imposing. You know, when you've got you know, your food and everything being served, they don't get in the way, but they have real impact. They look very, very lovely. So again, I'm just going in a rough line of 3 and at varying heights, and I'm going to take this one out to the side a bit. I want to kind of have that sort of natural look. Everything obviously in nature isn't kind of straight up and down, so I am going to be angling things slightly as well. Next we have some, if I can get it out, some beautiful cornflower here, centaurea. So you have to kind of have a bit of a degree in Latin flower names when you're doing floristry as well. Again, just popping these in, grouped but also slightly random. So we just want that natural look and feel to our arrangement. Bring this one up here. So you've got the nice pop of blue in here as well. Some of them are out, some of them are in bud, but it just adds some nice texture. I'm just going to spin around and see where we're at. So we've got a few of these. I'm going to bring a few into this front middle here because we've got quite a lot of height going on. And I think we need something a bit lower down here at the front. So I'm going to angle this forward slightly. Again, just adds a little bit more movement, doesn't make it quite as regimented. And put probably a couple at the back here. So again, when you've got varying heights in an arrangement, it just draws the eye through, makes things look a bit more interesting and a bit fuller. I think that's coming along quite nicely there. And you can see with the grasses, they're just very delicate, but they really add a nice little bit of texture to our arrangement. And then I'm just going to put one more. I've got a couple more cornflower in my bunch than you guys, just because I need a bit more material for filling out this meadow box. I'm actually thinking of doing workshop, actually, a summer meadow workshop, meadow box even workshop, because I just think these are so good, and there's so many things you can do with them. And they're like £12.50, something like that, so they're not dear, and obviously you can reuse them again and again and again. So I think they're great, as you can tell, because I keep going on about them. And we have these gorgeous roses. They're from Ecuador, and they are called Shimmer. Now I'm going to take the guard petals off from around the outside. These just protect the inner flower. Some florists leave them on. I prefer them without, to be fair. Literally just pop your finger in and your thumb, and then just gently pull, slight bit of pressure at the bottom there just to take it off. And look at that, that will fill out even more. I mean, that's kind of pretty much the size of the palm of my hand, but this will add, again, it'll add some shape because of it being round, obviously, and it just adds a really nice pop of colour. So I'm going to sit this one quite low towards the front, and look at the contrast with that blue. It just looks very, very pretty. Now I could group my roses here if I wanted a kind of focal, but because this is going to be a more natural feel, and look, I am going to dot them round. Again, I'm going to do varying heights, so nice 45-degree angle cut. Just allows more water to get up to the flower. And just, they do actually smell slightly as well. You may have much stronger sense of smell than me, but because I'm in and around these all day every day, I kind of can't really smell them. So I'm just going to pop that one in there. So again, kind of bringing it back slightly, taking the eye through. I just think this is just such a lovely colour combination with the peach and the blue and the greens and whites. So just such a nice summery, I feel, combination. So with this one, I think I'm going to take this one here. So we've got one low here, one high here, and I think I'm going to put that other one there. I think that will work quite nicely. Get it slightly smaller. There we go. So that's coming along. And you don't really, because this is quite innocuous, you know, you can't really, it's not very, it's not particularly ugly or anything. It's quite neutral. You don't really need to cover. You can bring the foliage down if you want to, but you don't really need to with this type of arrangement, in all honesty. Agapanthus, again, a nice pop of blue. And I'm going to come through here, so slightly higher. So you'll see here now, again, it's a different shape, it's a different texture. And somebody's shouting through the window. I'm going to pop this one over here, and then, so we have one here, and then I'm going to bring one down nice and low. So say this is going to go against the wall, so I've got the height up here, and I'm also bringing it down to the front, so when you look at it, you've got interest at all angles. If you were having this along a table centre, you could keep everything a bit lower. If you were having it standing on a floor, obviously bring everything up higher. And then we have some hypericum, so I thought this would be a lovely contrast against the blue, but also tones in with our peach roses as well. So when I come up with my flower club recipes, I have a look generally to see. I don't plan them sort of months and months in advance and things like that, because I like to use what's seasonal, what's really nice, and what's a bit interesting at that time. So I kind of find a starting colour or a really nice rose or a hydrangea or whatever, and then I kind of build out from there. So you see I've popped those Hypericum in here and here. It just again adds more texture, adds a pop of colour, and just looks very nice, I think, in my opinion, but you know, I'm a little bit biased there. So I'm just going to fill in with a few more of my cornflower. And you may have, you know, if you're doing this type of arrangement, you may have some flowers in your garden. Obviously everything, with all the rain we've had, it's kind of made everything really nice and healthy and flowery, more flowers. I mean, all of my stuff seems to have gone mad and come into flower. So you could add some bits in from your garden, you could add some foliage in. If you're out foraging, you could find some bits to go in there. You could put some twigs in, you know, there's so many options with this type of arrangement that you can just go for it. And it doesn't need to be too full, because we want quite a natural look. It doesn't need to be packed full so that you can't see through. It's quite nice with these to have a little bit of space, have a little bit of airiness. It just helps create that more natural look and feel. So there we have it. On my, this is another piece of kit I got very excited about as well, Lazy Susan, perfect for doing arrangements on, and particularly if you're doing demos like this, because you can see what I'm doing and I can see what I'm doing. So I'm just having a quick look over just to see if I've got any glaring gaps. Obviously the size of the cocculus leaves helps hide a lot of that base mechanics as well. So I'm happy with that, I think. Yeah, so there you have it, summer meadow box. And I will take some photos and pop them on Instagram and our Facebook group later. But if you do create something like this, let me know. I mean, you could just use a bowl, you don't have to use something as large as this. You could just do it in a bowl, but just have a play around with the different heights, the different placements and the different textures, and I think, you know, you'll be surprised how effective it actually looks. So that's it from me for today. I'm going to have a cup of tea now and get the shop open. Do pop a picture of what you make. As you know, I love to see what you come up with, and even if you just pop them in a vase, that's absolutely fine. You know, that I'm just kind of sharing some of my tips and some of my knowledge and ideas on different ways that you can arrange. Obviously there's lots of videos on the YouTube channel of different things that you can create. So if you are having a special occasion or something like that, you know, you may want to have a look back through and see how you can be creative with your florals. So I hope you found that useful, and I will catch up with you soon. Thank you, bye.